Let me say this, guys. I know you're mad. I know you're frustrated. And I hear you.
Maybe there will be a sign out there, tax cut with representation.
We're going to lose our freedom. It's really absolutely tragic.
I know you're frustrated. And I hear you. And the American people are being hurt.
We call it AstroTurf. It's not really a grassroots movement.
Can we use this tax day as a rallying cry for changing the way that business is done?
That is the question from Mark Sanford, governor of South Carolina, head of the Republican Governors Association. Let me bring in our roundtable to talk about all this. I'm joined, as always, by George Will, Peggy Noonan of the Wall Street Journal. Welcome back to Sam Donaldson and Cokie Roberts.
I'll tell you, I didn't think that the Tea Party phenomenon was as much anti-Obama as it was anti-ruling class in a way. They were tough on the Republicans. They were mad at George Bush. They were mad at his spending and his deficits. There was a certain libertarian tilt that was a little bit new. It wasn't maybe standard old-time conservative right-wing gathering. Something else was going on.
Than as Republican.
Yes, exactly. They were mad at the Republican Party.
To bolster Peggy's point, there was a rally in South Carolina. Congressman Barrett down in South Carolina who voted for the bailouts, getting booed down. He's a Republican, but it was on the bailouts. It was anger at that.
It's spending more than taxing.
Well,
Forgive me, but spending
right.
is their thing.
And it is also
oddly enough.
It's the big shots. People are mad at the big shots.
Well, one congressman tonight is feeling a backlash for supporting that massive stimulus bill, tax increases, and government bailouts. I keep asking, where have all the Republicans gone? We found one. Republican Congressman Gresham Barrett. Man, did he get a reception at a South Carolina Tea Party. About 4,000 protesters booing the congressman for most of his attempted 5-minute speech in Greenville, South Carolina Friday. A number of the protesters even turning their back on him.
It's about people being heard. It's about your voice. And I can promise you one thing, guys. You may boo. You may turn your back. But I have devoted my life for the conservative cause.
I think you can put that crowd down as undecided on the good congressman, don't you? Well, Barrett voted for spending hundreds of billions of dollars to bail out banks, but he recently introduced a bill called the Taxpayer Empowerment and Advocacy Act, or T-Act, to stop wasteful government spending.
From coast to coast, from border to border, from sea to shining sea, Sean Hannity is on.
And we continue now with our great American panel. All right, so we had these big tea parties all across the country. You weren't impressed, Mr. Beckles. Is that what that?
No, it was great. I didn't get any crumpets either.
I wish people could have seen that smirk that you just made.
Oh, no, I thought it was wonderful, the tea parties.
Well, there were 20,000 people that showed up in Atlanta.
Right.
All right. Now, David Axelrod says it's unhealthy. There was a Republican congressman who voted for the TARP plan, South Carolina Republican Barrett, and watch him get booed on this tape.
Congressman Gresham Barrett. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me say this, guys. I know you're mad. I know you're frustrated. And I hear you.
Now, that was just the beginning, though. Now, as a kicker, you've never gotten booed. If you missed,
many times. I know what it felt like. Definitely. You know, I was proud of our Americans. I was proud that they cared enough about their country that they would go out and express their displeasure with a culture of corruption and greed that existed in Wall Street and in Washington, D.C. I mean, we have companies that are supposed to go after business and try to generate a profit, but do it in the right way. And we have politicians that are supposed to look out for the American people, and yet they were in the pockets of those companies.
Well, the American taxpayers are paying for this, and as my buddy John Rich sings in his song Shutting Detroit Down, you know what, we're not bailing out these guys that are on their assembly line. We're not bailing out small business owners, you know, bankers, insurance companies, and Wall Street execs.
Here's the thing, and first of all, by the way, I think that something like this dispels the idea that this was all generated by the RNC and the Fox News channel, right? I mean, we certainly saw this dissent against a Republican.
Why does that dispel that?
Well, but because you had a Republican being booed. But what happened, what you're seeing there is absolute rage at how out of control this has gotten. I don't think it was just the TARP vote itself. I think there is just fury that did nothing but open the door to have Congress basically run our economy, run it into the ground, and enslave future generations of children to this incredible debt. Now, I personally hold the Republicans very much accountable for this. I don't know where they were in the last 8 years, and under Bush, the national debt tripled, or doubled at least.
But it's going to quadruple now.
Question,
$10 trillion in debt. This is nothing compared to George W. Bush.
It is a drop in the bucket compared to what is going to happen. That is the outrage.
And President Bush fought 2 wars. And President Bush inherited a recession, and 9/11 hurt the economy.
Sean, I'm a Bush fan, but he should have pulled out his veto pen when it came to that Congress, and that wasn't his mistake.
First of all, why whoever did the advance work for that congressman should be fired. Knowing when you walk into that crowd of people, your crowd of people, be like me walking in there and saying hello. Look, the fact of the matter is, you guys keep forgetting that what happened here was the deregulation of the capitalist system by a Republican named Phil Gramm that allowed these guys, business is going to follow the path of least. Wait a second. Do you think that Obama had anything to do with the recession that we're in now? Do you think he had anything to do with it?
No, I actually think that the Democrats certainly had a great deal to do with it. How about his friends Barney Frank and the way they corrupted Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
But he has inherited a terrible situation, and you guys don't seem to be willing to give him a chance to get us out of it.
He's going to make it worse.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Wasn't it Barney
Frank? He's enslaving my children under a tripling of the national debt, and they are using this crisis, and they've admitted to it, to do nothing but ram down massive federal spending for generations to come.
No,
so you bet.
Trying things like upgrading our energy system and getting a better education, getting a better health care system, I don't think that's downgrading our economy.
Wait a minute, $10 trillion in debt, $806 billion on interest alone, and
you're looking at something that before these programs take effect. Look, you can't have 45 million people in this country without health insurance. Now, the Republicans and Democrats
have survive all these years without nationalized health care? How do we survive?
Emergency rooms and hospitals shutting down. That's what's happened. And the cost of medicine going up. Barack Obama is willing to take on some tough issues, and you all are sitting there complaining about it.
We got to run.
It's regulation that killed this economy, and he's only making it worse.
This was a great panel. I'll be watching. No pressure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.